Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mind Games, where our aim is to give you a concise yet informative take on a broad range of subjects ranging from earth sciences and astronomy, history, and even a bit of philosophy. Now, with all that being said, let's get into today's topic. If you're hearing my voice right now, that's because you clicked on this video and are listening to a recorded sample of the frequencies that make up my voice, and your brain is now interpreting those into words. Rest assured, all is well and it's functioning normally. But what happens when you start hearing voices that are not your own? This is what an estimated 25 million people all over the globe deal with on a regular basis. Schizophrenia is a relatively poorly understood psychological disorder that negatively impacts nearly every aspect of someone's life. The exact causes of schizophrenia are still a mystery, but are thought to be a combination of genetic and environmental factors, as the onset of the disorder typically manifests in late teens to early 20s, possibly indicating that it was always there, but was laying dormant until some external environmental factor, like grieving over a loved one, stress of losing a job, or drug consumption, triggered the initial onset of symptoms. But what is schizophrenia exactly? Well, to put it plainly, it's a mental disorder characterized by long-term and relapsing episodes of psychosis. Primary symptoms that commonly manifest will be delusions, such as the barking dog in the neighbor's backyard is actually a government drone, or that famous actress is dropping romantic messages meant for you in her movies. Paranoia, like people in the streets are observing you or talking about you. Disorganized thinking and behavior, such as jumbled speech or bizarre, and the most well-known trait of this disorder are the hallucinations, which can be both visual and more commonly auditory. During this intense state, the person may hear, see, touch, smell, and feel things that simply are not real, but to the sufferer, these stimuli are as real as can be. Disembodied voices and sounds will often come in waves and intensity, with multiple and distinct voices commanding, degrading, and generally tormenting the person during these episodes. It must be quite scary to be afraid of your own mind. There is help though. Although we don't know what specifically causes this illness, we do have a good understanding of how to effectively treat it to ameliorate the negative symptoms, and in some cases, the patient will see the illness go into permanent remission, although we're not really sure why this happens either. Antipsychotic medications, along with social support groups, cognitive behavioral therapy, and strong community support, is the best method of managing this, along with managing general health like your diet, and addressing any substance abuse issues as well. Many misconceptions have arisen through popular media depicting what schizophrenia is, and more accurately, what it isn't. Horror slashers and crime dramas have trained the public to be wary or even fearful of those suffering from this disorder. But most people with this disease are not violent or aggressive, and are actually far more likely to be victims of violence themselves. In the instances where violent crime was committed, it was usually within the presence of a comorbid disorder, such as substance abuse, which can wildly exacerbate the symptoms, and or an anti-personality disorder. Historically, and up to present day, in many areas around the world, those suffering from mental illnesses, including schizophrenia, are gravely mistreated as the rest of society excludes them out of fear and what they don't understand. People suffering from this have a lifespan of about 20 years shorter than the general population, as many suffer from cardiovascular and infectious diseases caused by trying to self-medicate using substances like tobacco and opiates at a much higher rate. Currently, the vast majority of people living with schizophrenia around the world are not receiving mental health care, and many who do reside in mental health institutions experience regular human rights abuses. Here in the United States alone, the prison system is the number one ward of those suffering from mental health crises, as there simply isn't the fiscal, political, or social will to treat mental illness as the legitimate health concern that it is. The problem has become so ubiquitous, in fact, jails and prisons are now referred to as the new asylums, like New York's Rikers Island alone holding more severely mentally ill people than any of the nation's psychiatric facilities. Before any real material changes can be realized, though, the first step is destigmatization. Realizing that these are people like you and I, who just want to enjoy life to its fullest, but have a disorder that makes that difficult sometimes. But we can help by just understanding that they don't want what's happening to them either, and more so, by pressuring our elected officials in Congress to make far greater resources available to local and state programs to further aid in helping those who are suffering and ensuring they're not left behind. I'll leave a link below in the description for a very reputable charity dedicated to fundraising and raising public awareness for those suffering from severe mental illnesses. As always, if you liked the video, we would really appreciate a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notified of new content as soon as it's posted on the channel. And as always guys, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.